Hello and welcome back to the Kiran Roberts podcast. This is a bit of a heavy one for me because, and it's ironic because on Naked Billy we just posted a post about failure and today I stuffed up big time. Have you ever said anything or done something that was so out of character and that you just you cannot believe that you said it, that it's almost beyond forgiveness and you can kind of get why the other person is offended? I mean, I try my best to not be offended, but I did something today that was in retaliation to me being offended. I was having a conversation with, I was going to say friend, but he's basically a brother. And we were talking about the new Instagram format of not likes, and we're just talking about free markets, and then we started to use personal examples, and he made a real benign comment about how what I was saying wasn't as valid because I hadn't gone through some of the things that he was talking about and I was responding to. And it was a fair point in a way, but for some reason it just triggered me. It really triggered me and I retaliated. I went deep and picked on him and said some really nasty stuff. And it was only like an eighth of the whole message. I said it and then went right back to my point. And the funny thing is I wrote it in a Google Keep notes page, and I actually went to the Instagram message and I wrote something, and I don't know if I should send it because it's so bad, but I deleted that and I ended up sending this message. And we've riffed in the past. We've had some big fights and arguments, debates, conversations. So in a way, I thought that would supersede the flow of the debate would supersede what I said, but in retrospect, I went too far. Have you ever gone too far? Have you ever said something that is so crushing to someone else just in the moment, just out of pure anger or upsetness that you instantly regret it, but it's too far, you've said it and now it's out there and it's almost too late. Now, after I said that, he got understandably upset. He went on quite a bit of a rant about how he was appalled, and I understand that, and I don't know if you'll listen to this, but and as soon as I said that, even before he said he was offended, I realised I had stuffed up, and I kind of tried to make excuses for it, and at the end I sat on my own for a bit, and I realised, man, what did you do? And I've fallen into this trap before. There was a period of time on Facebook where I engaged in every debate, everything. It's really a flaw of my character. I'm a quite intellectual and smart person. It's one of the only good things about me. I can use my intellect quite well, but it gets me in trouble because I'm also opinionated. And I'm on Facebook, and I realised I got to the point where I was debating, again, close friends about just nothing issues, and I had to put out a public apology. But I retracted that and I stopped using Facebook. I'm only back on Facebook because of Naked Billy trying to help Nicole post her stuff and whatever. And I've really avoided all of this until today. And just for some reason, last night I was up late. The other night I was up till 3:30 trying to edit Nicole's videos. I've just had night after night of no sleep. And today was a real bad day for anxiety. And we started having this conversation and I just flipped a switch. Have you ever done that? Have you ever said something to someone or made a remark in the moment that is so out of character you almost can't believe it? And this isn't a podcast of me giving the advice of how to, recover yourself or even what's happened. This was today. I mean, we're in the thick of it, and I'm not. This podcast is so tiny. I'm not using it as a way to capitalize on the moment because no one cares about this podcast. So it's just me speaking my truth. But it hurts me, and I don't know what to do from here. In a way, I'm struggling. And I've had situations like this before, as I've said with the Facebook thing, but it just made me think a lot about my failures in life and how I've treated people and how I've pushed people away and what I value most. And this has really, if anything, helped me stop to reframe and recontextualize what I value in life. What do you value in life? When you find yourself saying things that you regret or doing things that you regret, I think maybe you have to go back to the drawing board of what you value. Because in that moment when I was talking to my friend, my brother, I valued being right. I valued something that I've I've told myself over and over again, I will not be that person. But in that moment, I chose the value of being right over the value of loving someone. And, it's embarrassing. I mean, I'm not embarrassed for the friendship, and I'm getting teary just thinking about it. But, man, I'm embarrassed to even speak this out loud because I put out all this stuff about choosing love and making love the center of what you do. And in this moment of humanity, man, I didn't choose love. And that's really hard for me because more than anything, I want love to be at the center of everything we do. I believe it is the center of who God is. And if we don't articulate that in everything we do, then we are not representing God correctly. And in this weird moment, man, I just was so frustrated and I said the wrong thing and I didn't represent God, and that hurts me. And so I look at myself and I ask, what do I do from here? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, and the first thing I did was I stopped. I put my phone down. I said a massive apology and I just stopped talking. I don't know if he's replied or not. But I've just sat in the car and I've sat on my own and I've just really thought about what I value and what I want from life. I believe with all my heart that the work Nicole is doing with Naked Billy will be a platform for her to build a business and make money and live off that. We could live off that for the rest of our lives. But that, for us, is not the main value. The main value of what we're trying to do, what she's trying to do with Naked Billy, is actually support and empower young women. That is it. That is the primacy of everything we do. And we have established that in our bio. We have established that on our vision boards at home, that is the vision. And anything that is outside of that corrupts what we are trying to do. And so for me, I'm sitting in this car thinking, what's my main value? What did I do wrong? Where did I let go? And really it was, I chose to be right over the choice of embracing and living love. I took my eyes off Jesus. I took my eyes off what was important, and I looked to myself and my own gain. And to, of all people, my brother, my best friend. And so when you have failed, especially when it's a personal failure where you've made a mistake, you need to sit down in the space of solitude and think about your values and think about what you want to put up at the top of the list. And then, and this is what I will do nothing else but think about that for as long as I can. And inevitably this will happen again. As I said, it's a real flaw of my character, and whatever your flaw of character is, you will always fall to that. It is the fault of your humanity and your sinful nature that you will fall to your flaws in character. And so this will have to be reframed again, but I hope that I can continue to look to Jesus, to look to love, and to know that despite what happened today, I am okay. So I reevaluate and reframe my values. The second thing I do, and this is the hardest thing, is because I know it was a mistake, because I know that's not who I am at my core, I am choosing, whether he believes it or not, to say that is not who I am and that I am not defined by the mistake. Now, he may never forgive me. He may move on and he may choose to live his life without me, and that's his prerogative. But I can't do that. I have to continue to live my life, whether he chooses that or not. And you cannot continue to live according to your failures and by letting them define you. I do not let what happened define me. But it just happened, Kiran. Yeah, but it's still in the past. I can't go back. I said sorry, which means I wish I didn't say it. I wish I could have went back to when I first wrote the message saying, I don't know if I should send this, and I wish I sent that. And he would have said, be careful, Kiran, knowing who I am. I wish I had done that, but I can't. So I can't let that failure define me. I have to move forward. I have to keep going because that's all I can do. That's all I have control of. I can't control him. I can't control my past. I can only control the present. So I sit down, I reevaluate, I redefine, I relist my values, and I make love at the top. And love being at the top means that self-love is also at the top. Loving others is also loving yourself. And loving myself means that I will not allow myself to be defined by my failure. I am a child of God. I am unique. I am special. I am loved by the Creator. And so I look forward knowing that from now on I will choose love. I look forward knowing that I will represent love. I will look forward knowing that my past is a pocket of wisdom, as we wrote in our failure deck on Instagram. My failure is a pocket of wisdom I will learn from, and I'm learning from it now, but it is not something that I will allow to define me. So I sit in my values, and I trust in love, and I walk forward. And then I do something as a Christian that, whether you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, you can do it in a way as well, is I take it to the feet of Jesus and I leave it there. Now, if you're not a Christian, if you're an atheist or you don't believe in God or you believe in Buddha or Allah or whatever you believe in, you need to figure out a way to take what has been done, to claim what you are going to do, and to take it to something higher than yourself and leave it there. Now, if you don't believe in God and you're an atheist, make the higher thing other people. Make it your altruism. But for me, it's Jesus. And so I take what I've said, I take what I've claimed, and I give it to Jesus. And in giving it to Jesus, I ask him for forgiveness. I wait, I stay in that place and I ask him for forgiveness. And asking for forgiveness isn't asking him to rub out or cross out the mistake. I don't want that. I want to be healed of this mess that's within me, my brokenness. So I take it to Jesus and I ask him to heal me in forgiveness. And I ask him to make me whole. And then I leave it there. Because to take it away with me is to use my own strength and my power to try and fix it. And that's what got me in this mess in the first place. Me trying to do it on my own, me thinking that I knew what was right, me not holding love at the center of what I do got me in this mess. So I take that and I leave it at the feet of Jesus. And I walk away. And I trust that as my mind molds to the mind of Jesus, as my will molds to the will of Jesus, as my desires and my life and my mind and my actions mold to that of Jesus, that which I do will become that which he wants. And that has really set me free. When I choose to be close to Jesus, when I choose to take on his love, I don't constantly have to be checking in with my Bible. I don't constantly have to check in with God to know what to do necessarily, because when I am close to Jesus, what I do will be what he wants, because my mind will be like his. And so that's the plan moving forward, and it's going to be hard. It is hard for me right now. I've said all that and I still don't feel at peace because I need to go deeper still. I need to go back to Jesus and really leave it at his feet. I need to go back to the list and really define my values. I need to go back to my knees and really ask for forgiveness and healing. And then I pray that my brother and my friend can do the same for me as God has done for him. And there's the second lesson, I guess. As God does for me, I do for others. And so when he does it to me, when someone else offends me or hurts me, as God has given me grace and forgiveness and healing, I should do it for other people. I should. I don't deserve to keep it. I don't deserve to be a lone island getting grace and forgiveness without giving it. As God has forgiven you, as God has brought you into the space of peace and healing within the boundaries of love, you should go do it to other people. Who have you not forgiven? Who have you not given love and grace and mercy to? Because I tell you what, it doesn't matter who you are, God has given it to you, and he is giving it to you every single day. And whether you choose him or not, he will give it to you when you die. He will give you the grace and mercy and love to not force you to go to heaven and be with him or let go and not be with him. Up until the very end of your existence, God is giving you love and mercy and grace, whether you believe in him or not. So who is it in your life? Who is it in your life that you are struggling to do that for? Because the answer is simple. If there is someone, you look to Jesus and you think about what he has done for you. And if you are living and breathing and hearing this podcast, he has done it for you. Therefore, you should do it for others. Love needs to be at the center of everything we do, because if it's not, you are. If love isn't at the center, you are. And if you are at the center, well, you know your flaws, you know your mistakes, you know what's wrong with you. It will always end with a mess. You know, I can talk about the fact I've had little sleep and I've had anxiety real bad today and I haven't been drinking enough water. I can blame all that. for the reason I didn't look to Jesus. But the real reason is I didn't look to Jesus. It's simple. I want to be the type of person that looks to Jesus no matter what, especially when I'm weak, especially when I don't feel like it, especially when I think I don't need him. That's when I need to look at him the most. And when you do, you are liberated from the stress of having to make your own decisions, from the stress of being scared that you will say something wrong. Because when you look to Jesus, you shine Jesus, and that comes through everything you do. Speech. It comes through speech, it comes through action, it comes through word, it comes through love. So that's what I have to say to you. That's my truth. That's what I want to speak to you today about, and I hope it can help some of you in your journeys. I hope it can set some of you free in the things that you're doing. And I hope it can help you know that even, what some of you, I don't think I'm the best, but even the best of us fall. And it doesn't take away the consequence of what we did. I hurt him. I hurt my friend. And God will do a work in his heart to mend that. And whether he chooses to engage with me or not is his choice. I don't get to get away from the consequences of my actions. But what I can't do is live in them. I have to move forward. I have to keep going. I have to look to Jesus. And so do you. If you are listening, friend, I love you and I'm sorry. And I pray by my example, I pray by the example of Jesus, that you may do the same to the people that have hurt you, so that you may be liberated, so that you may be forgiven, so you can be a better person, so love can exist in this world in a more profound way. And if you are the victim of someone's attack, like my friend, look to Jesus, look to love, look to grace, and he will heal the wound that was made, and he will give you the ability to forgive them so that you also can move on in love and peace and grace. May God bless you. May God be with you. See you later.